Hey pack leaders, this is Kim with Friends of Arnie, protecting families by protecting the pack, and it's been a while since I've done a video, so I wanted to kind of start it back up. Uh, you know, I think my last video was when I came back from an RV trip, and I've just been tinkering around with the tuner, and I was trying to get to run 24/7 because when I was on my trip, I had to kind of restart it. I had to have my VA help me with restarting it, and she wasn't always around, so we finally got that squared away, and I've just kind of been learning from it, seeing what it's doing, using my own smaller portfolio, and just kind of testing it to see what's going on and kind of cleaning it up. But I think I've kind of gotten into a point where I think it's pretty good now. So I'm gonna kind of share with you the actual live results compared to Binance. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch right over and show you that. All right, so let me show you. This is BCC. We actually had one that was a live sim bot that was for testing, and it was doing great. And I kept on, kept on creating the live bot, but then I was running simultaneously with another account, and so I kept kind of finding each other. They'll create and the other one will delete it. So I've just been kind of messing with that, and I finally cleaned that up. So BCC wise, view trade wise, it's been doing pretty good positively wise. So there's October 1st at 3 and 6 a.m. in the morning. I was probably sleeping at the time. BCC at 3 and 6 in the morning. There's the price that I bought it in at and sold that. Okay, and there's some few more that I kept kind of going in at it. So here's 187, sold 497 down here, BCC, and a few more back here. It seems like it was pretty hot, buy here and sell there 79, sold at 801. Okay, all right, and then let me show you some more. The other one was Nano that we had. And before, what I did a little differently, because I used to like tune a bot for a day, and then I'll trade it for a day, and then we'll retune it again. And then after a while, I was like, if it's doing good, why am I killing it still? So I started letting it run it further, like for 14 days before I actually kill it. So even though we had like, a couple losses here and there, it's all good. As long as it's overall positive, that's what matters at the end of the day. And we weren't able to hit these numbers until I let it run for that long. Otherwise, it would have been like 3-4%, 3-4%, and then I kill it, 3-4%, kill it again. So that's kind of been a little bit different now. So I'm kind of starting to look at it as like, hey, every bot that we tune that does well, it kind of becomes an asset. So why am I killing my assets, right? It should be running for a very long time. Now, I've set this for 14 days, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if it needs to be retuned in 14 days, but if within 14 days there is no trade in the last 14 days, it'll kill it. But if there's constantly trades going on and it's still staying alive, it'll then keep it on. So that's kind of what it does. It looks for the last trade. If it hasn't traded in 14 days, then it's gone. Okay. So I've kind of extended that, and then my live bots. Let's look at mine here. Now I've kind of set a lot of live bots where it's a small portfolio, so it doesn't have enough money. But once that money comes back from a trade, then the red dollar sign will be gone, and it can go back into trade. Okay. So here's Nano again. Go ahead and screenshot these settings. I'm gonna give them to you. So this one was the 27% over the last, I don't know, week or so, or 6 days, I guess. So go ahead and take this one. It's just gonna be the same one. You can compare it. There you go. See if that works out for you. And then the live one, which I kind of picked off right there on the 30th. And then take a screenshot of that. It should be the same thing. Okay. So let's confirm it. It's September 30th, 13th to 13 hours to 21st hour. So let's go ahead and look at that. Nano. Right there, that's the sell. The nanos are here the 13th hour on the 30th, and then the sold was right here. Okay, and so the price was at 0.34, and it sold at 0.3421. Okay, so these are small little gains. Okay, I was probably sleeping at the time, and it was late. What was it? This is 1 o'clock actually, and it stayed up till like 10. I don't know, doing other things, but. So it's more of a turtle and hare, method. You can always do better trading manually, but this just kind of takes a little slow profits, a little bit here and there, and it just starts to stack and rack and compound. Okay, you don't have to get all emotional, and it just does this thing. So right now, I think we're in some trades right now. XLM, it had a buy. I was just kind of checking to see where we're at. So this is the latest one right now. Bought at 3884. Currently, we're at 3992. So I probably bought around 3884. Picked it off right around here, and then it's taking it off right here. So I don't know if it looks any different in the 15 minute, but I don't know. 3884. Yeah, it probably picked it up around here when it dipped down here, I'm guessing. Yeah. Oh well, we'll leave it at that. Okay, so so far it's in profit, and if it has made over 2.5% profit, it will then put a trailing stop loss, and then lock it in with a 0.5% trailing stop loss. Okay. All right. So yeah, I just want to kind of show you that it's starting to kind of progress, and I'm still monitoring it, cleaning it up. I'm gonna let it run a few more days. I did the day before when I was kind of fighting each other. I'll show you the good and bad. It was the day after where I kept buying BCC over and over. I was like, why does it keep buying BCC and selling it at a loss? Like, well, this was a good one. Here, bought here, sold here, bought here, lost it again. And I'm like, what's going on? So I finally looked at it, and I was like, oh, dude, it's fighting each other. I need to fix this thing. I thought I had add this one thing, but it didn't do it. So I finally cleaned that all up, and the next day it just kind of like brought it back, and I'm like, cool, this is good. BCC is still pretty hot, it seems like, so we'll still keep it running. Okay. Let's look at TRX. I think there's a small little profit. I think it just started like at 5 in the morning, so it hasn't moved much, but let's go and take a look at that too. 334. So it's just kind of a little bit of a sideway action. 333 is where I picked it up at. 333, and it's at 334. So there we go. So we just gotta let it run, see what happens, and if it comes back, great. We'll make some money there. Okay. Let me go ahead and share with you our latest developments. This is our web version. We're going to be moving this to a web server so that you don't have to install it on your a web server. Have one for live, one for T. It'll just be taken care of on the live server. Okay. But we're going to build it a step at a time. We're going to first get the SimBot part taken care of so it can tune faster, because it was really slow because it's a long process to kind of run all the initial guesses, adjust all the settings, test everything, keep constantly back test, and it just took about maybe average between 10 to 20 minutes per bot to be created. And it'll take about a whole day to do about 50 to 80 bots. Okay. And then after that, retune them, recheck them. So this way we can stay up to date a lot faster with this. Let me just kind of give you a walkthrough of this dashboard. It basically tracks the ROI per trade, so you can see how it's increasing. As it's increasing, we'll then clone to a live T-bot. If it starts to decline, we'll then delete it. Okay, so this is just pseudo data. It's not the actual data. I gave the developer some ideas, and he kind of just photoshopped something real quick to kind of show you what it could look like. And this doesn't look accurate to me, but our real numbers anyway. So so you'll be able to kind of activate your sim bots here. Depending what you want, you can activate it, and then you'll be able to see the bots here. Sometimes we don't know what it's doing, so this kind of gives you a guide of, okay, right now it's checking the first wallet. It's now looping through EOS, or now it's looping through TRX. It looks good. It's going to start to clone it. Now these numbers aren't exactly what I want. I kind of want to show actually it's cloning EOS, so some actual text here. So that's something it's minor. We'll adjust it with the developer, and then kind of say, hey, now it's tuning this. It's kind of like, and then it'll highlight as it moves down the loop, and so you kind of see where it's at, what it's actually doing, kind of thing. Okay. Now once it finds good live sim bots, it'll then clone live T bots. Maybe it'll show you the number of them that's similar to this here. This should be actually down here too, so I need to make that adjustment. So you will see that and activate the live T's and show up here. And then have a number of how many live T bots are running and how many live C bots are running. Okay, and then same thing here. Live T bot has its own loops, so you kind of see where it's doing and what it's looping through. So you kind of see a progress of how it's progressing, and maybe a scoring card or something like that, where we accumulate all the the gains and then all the ones that we've killed, and kind of say, hey, this is what you saved, or what do you I don't know yet, but this is kind of what I have for now, and then we'll kind of develop on the rest later. Let me show you a little bit of the bot army area. Starting from the tuning tab, you will set your settings here like you normally would, and there's some settings that are probably no longer needed because we're going to the web version, and Wolfpack tuning will still probably useful since it's running on your server, and we can kind of report to the central server to notify everybody of that. Okay. Disclaimer, trading part, this is where you set your live T, live C bots, percentage home run trade, minimum ROI before we clone to a live T, so it doesn't just say a small low profit, clone it, but maybe it needs to make 1.5%, 2% before we actually go in. Okay. Local API stuff, kill criteria, how long do you want to hold the bag? You can actually check if on your first buy order, if it's holding a bag, it'll actually, it'll detect it and estimate what your actual ROI loss is. And just, let's say you have a negative ROI of 1% and it goes below that, and it's already been like 2 days and you're holding a bag, it'll manually do a manual limit order or a market order for you. And you kind of activate it by that. Okay. Some options, so wallet balancing for the partial fill orders. So with Mad Hatter, it does partial fill a lot, so this kind of helps balance it out and kind of does a trailing stop loss to kind of just, if you're already in order, just kind of go ahead and wallet balance it, put the trailing stop advance order there. If it happens to fall below the limit or whatever, do a market order or limit order. If you're in profit of 2.5%, and then it'll create a trailing stop loss to lock in your profits. This is obsolete now. This was running a tuner, but once on the web version, you don't need to ever auto restart ever again. So we'll probably end up removing that part too. Okay, and this is probably not needed anymore. Client stuff will be kind of cool. So once we get that running, you'll be able to manage multiple clients, and eventually possibly build them automatically based on the profits you generate them. They'll need to have a BTC wallet account that they will have to. We'll be able to maybe. I'm thinking maybe EOS will have the ability to do that. So maybe EOS account, we'll see, and be able to withdraw automatically based on what you've earned them. So you have to worry about not getting paid, and if they stop paying, then you stop working, or it just shuts off automatically until they reactivate on their own. Then your bot starts up again. Okay, so it'll be kind of a business for you. Okay, so that'd be really cool. Initial setup, that's it about it. This is your perturbations, how much positive leg you want to move on the settings, and that's pretty much it. So these options up here are for later. I'm kind of planning on oh yeah, a little pop-up here to your common buttons. See, load drop down menu, launch browser if you need to, but I think these are probably going to be obsolete too once we get things going. Okay, emergency stops and whatever. Okay. All right, so after this, we're going to probably start working on leverage trading on BitMEX, applying the same strategy, but using it for leverage trading. So we might make a little small tweak right here. And then these menus will probably move on to index bot and ping pong bot. It'll be great to kind of move between the Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin is doing better, they will switch to Bitcoin pairs. And then if somehow we're on a bear market, we can then switch back to USDT. If we're in bull market, switch back to, whatever the dominance is, we'll follow that. And that way you could kind of auto manage your portfolio that way. As it generates BTC, you kind of just do what you got to do. So we'll be integrating with other parts of Haas bots, and then pretty much custom bots too, maybe. The actual trade bots that you create. Now, just for later on, I kind of want to have it compartmentalized. It's just a vision down the road where we're going to probably compartmentalize it, where you can kind of have little segments of the API calls that's already pre-programmed, and all you kind of do is kind of drag and drop visually, so you have to program anything. If you don't like our sequence or process, whatever it is that I've kind of tweaked and looked at, you can also do your own. You can set up your own loops, how many bots you want to go through. You can drag in all your Mad Hatter bots that you created in the sim, and then loop through those and say, hey, if you hit this criteria, sell or whatever, and, you can create your loop, or maybe go visit CoinMarketCap if it happens to drop below 10% on XRP or something like that, and then put the buy orders aggressively in there, kind of thing, and then switch it off to less aggressive. I've kind of noticed those things where it's just everything's so dynamic that I can't have one single setting, and But I've noticed that, yeah, when things are down, that's the time to buy. And I don't want to be like, hey, that's when everything is down, keep waiting until it goes up, and then we buy it, and then they sell, and you're like, oh man, you repeat the cycle till you're broke, right? So, so those are some of the things I've kind of noticed that, hey, I might need to add that tweak into it. So, doing the opposite of what other people are doing, and kind of checking other resources, other websites, pulling indicators from all over the place, and we can definitely do that, and kind of bring it to this one centralized area where you can make smart decisions, and we just kind of apply those same rules over and over, while we can spend more time with our kids, with our family. It's generating income for us. We're also helping other families, managing their portfolios and bringing them in, and they can do the same for others, and kind of expanding it and helping more and more families, spend more time with each other and still value to their kids. We have so many broken families, divorces, the pandemic, and that's what I'm here to solve, actually, and that's the greater vision of why we do things. And I don't want to sit there watching tick marks all day, and that's not my career. But if you love doing that, great. I mean, uh, run this on the side while it's sleeping, or even 24/7. Do both at the same time, and you really can, know indicators and really wait for those pumps and whatever. Then, yeah, that's your trade. Perfect it, do it. Um, but I think my forte is the if I see the pattern, I don't want to have to repeat it and do it again. So I let the program do it. I learn from it and I translate into the bot, and then I'll have the bot continually learn and do. So thank you. We'll create some more videos. I'm gonna have a link below if you want to get access to the tuner. It's a 90-day giveaway, and once you sign up for the 90-day giveaway that we give away every single month, you also get offered a 7-day free trial to the one-click solution, so you kind of like get a feel of it, kind of see how it works. And you want to upgrade to the continuous tuning for Simulink, that's it's there for you. The trading part is released once every month towards the end of the month, and it's for the entire year. You gotta pay for the entire year now. There's a monthly option, but it's kind of offered in there. It's kind of like, hey, you really want it to take on me on offer, then it's there for you, but it's at a premium price. Okay, so there it is set for you. Hopefully, you use those settings if it helps you out. If it makes you some money, great. You want more? There's more for you too. And I'm gonna be trying to create some more videos. Go ahead and subscribe below, comment, let me know what else you want to see, and we'll go from there. All right, thank you, and we'll talk to you later.